ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of our podcast. First off, I want to thank all of you for tuning in to our first episode. Honestly, I didn't expect things to go so well, and I'm really glad you all embraced the idea as much as you did. When I saw that the podcast was short, I thought it'd be good to see if the idea would be well received or not. And you guys blew me away. Thank you so much. I was really happy with the response to the first episode. And if you haven't checked it out yet, just head over to the channel's playlist and give it a listen. But before we dive into today's podcast, I've got a quick message for you. If you're already subscribed to the channel, you probably know we have a page on Amazon Kindle where we've got a few ebooks focused on female Japanese rock. And if you're new here and this is your first video, thank you so much for tuning in. You can check out our ebooks on Amazon. The link's in the video description. We've got one about Band-Maid's history, another awesome one about the top Japanese female rock and metal singers, and one about the phenomenon called The Warning. Now, you might say, but The Warning isn't a Japanese band. I know, but I love them so much that I decided to write an ebook about them anyway. So feel free to check out the links and take a look. They're super affordable, and it's a great way to support my work. Oh, and we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. To everyone who's already subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and help us hit this milestone. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into today's podcast. It's gonna be a fun one. Dude, first off, I want to talk about Nemophila's 5th anniversary. Not sure if you guys heard, but last week, specifically Saturday, the band hit 5 years of existence. Honestly, I was pretty surprised to find out they've only been around for 5 years. Like, they're not my favorite band or anything, and I don't follow them super closely. But when I read that news and made a video about it for the channel, I was shocked to realize they've only been together for 5 years. I had heard of them before and listened to some of their tracks, but I thought they'd been around longer. Then again, 5 years is already a decent stretch of time, especially these days when bands pop up and disappear every 5 hours. Speaking of that, tell me guys, what lesser-known bands are you listening to right now? I've been listening to Amaidan Tudai a lot. Have you heard them? There's a video about them on the channel, and personally, I've been really digging their sound. But back to Nemophila. Yeah, they hit their 5th anniversary. I'm not sure if they did anything special or have plans for an anniversary gig, but that would be awesome. Either way, congrats to them, and I hope they stick around for a long time. So what's your favorite Nemophila song? Let me know. And speaking of favorite songs, let me take this chance to talk to you about Band-Maid's bad songs. Hold on. Don't leave the podcast just yet, because of what I said. If you're a big fan of the band, let me explain. A few days ago, I posted a video listing the 10 worst Band-Maid songs. And man, you guys commented like crazy. Stuff like, how is Glory a bad song? Or are you out of your mind? And this top 10 is totally wrong. And honestly, I loved reading every single comment because I knew that anyone who loves the band as much as I do would disagree with the list and be like, this guy's lost it. But let me break down how I made the video. First, I thought about it. And we've got tons of videos on YouTube talking about how amazing Band-Maid is, how great their songs are, but almost no one talks about their not-so-good songs. So I thought, why not make a video listing Band-Maid's possible bad tracks? I went digging into forums and reviews on some sites because I didn't want to rely on specialized critics. They usually sugarcoat things. I wanted to see what fans, like us, were saying about their songs. And come on, we've all had that moment where, even if we love a band, there's that one song where we're like, I'm gonna skip this one. For me, the song that doesn't really do it is Bestie. But when I read some fans talking about Glory, Don't Let Me Down, and Puzzle, I thought, if I include these songs in the list, people are gonna come for my head. And that's exactly what I did. Because, honestly, music is super subjective. There's always going to be someone who doesn't vibe with a certain track on the album, and you'll be left wondering, wait, what? And that's totally fine. Want another example? As you know, Linkin Park just dropped their new song, and what did you all think? Personally, I loved it. But what I mostly saw were people saying it wasn't that good and stuff like that. I didn't agree with that at all. Same thing with that Band-Maid list I made. I didn't fully agree with it either. But the point wasn't to share my opinion. I wanted to show different perspectives on songs that many people love, but that, surprisingly, some folks find flaws in, making them not as great in their eyes. So please, don't hate on the channel because of that video. It was made purely for entertainment, and I'm sure most of you who watched were left shocked by the list. And again, I loved reading every single comment. And continuing to talk about Band-Maid, did you guys see that they'll be on the cover of the September issue of Rolling Stone Japan? Man, I found out because, of course, I follow them on X, also known as Twitter. They posted the cover photo and then shared the tweet from the magazine's profile. I even brought a video talking a bit about it, which you can check out after listening to the podcast. So, what did you all think of the cover? I thought it was super cool with them there, full body on display. The magazine cover turned out awesome, but I did feel like there were a few elements missing in the background of the photo. The color is too solid, don't you think? Did you guys get that impression too? But who am I to talk about photo backgrounds and colors? I take pictures with a phone that's got a cracked screen. Anyway, the point is, this is a huge achievement for them, considering the magazine is very respected both in Japan and around the world. If you're listening to this podcast from Japan and are planning on buying the magazine, I'll leave an email in the description of the video. I'd love for you to reach out and maybe send me a picture of the article. By the way, I'm not sure if this is their first time on the cover of Rolling Stone. Is it the first, or have they been on it before? Either way, the girls are absolutely killing it and growing like crazy. Now, I want to talk to you guys really quickly about something. If you're a content creator here on YouTube, you probably already know this. But if not, let me explain. For a channel to be monetized and start earning money from views, it needs to meet some requirements. One is to have 1,000 subscribers, and the other is to have a certain number of watched hours. Only after hitting these two goals can you start earning from the platform. So why am I explaining this? Well, I could easily just start posting videos and ask you guys for donations online to help out as a way to encourage me to keep creating content, right? But the idea of asking without offering anything in return never really sat well with me. That's why I decided to create ebooks. They're simple ebooks that I put together with a bit of online research and help from AI. I made the covers myself, so they're not anything extraordinary, but it was my way of asking for donations while still giving something in return, even if it's something simple. I priced the ebooks very affordably and put them on a reliable platform, Amazon, where you even have some time to ask for a refund if you don't like the ebook. So after you listen to this podcast, take a look at the links to the ebooks. Think of it this way. If you decide to buy one, you're not buying it for the ebook itself, but for the gesture of helping me out. The money I make from the ebooks is going towards improving the channel, like upgrading my recording setup, audio, and things like that. But if you decide not to buy, that's totally fine, and I completely understand. Just the fact that you're subscribed and listening to this podcast already helps me a lot, so thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thank you for listening to the podcast all the way through. This podcast series will probably be bi-weekly here on the channel. Don't forget to check out other videos on the channel as well. Once again, thank you so much, a big hug, and see you next time.